Jared Polin, Photo.com, and this video is for anybody out there who is shooting a lot of video. Do you set your picture control before you start shooting? Well, you should, and the reason being is that you have to set this picture control because it's embedded into the video that you're making. Now, when we shoot raw images, still photos, you don't have to worry about picture control as much because we have the raw image, the raw file to go ahead and tweak later. But because video is done in camera, you have to set your picture control settings at the time you're shooting. Whether you want your sharpness really high or really low, or do you want your contrast bumped high for a more boomy image or more pulled back to be flat. You want to get these things right in the camera before you're shooting because it's baked into that video file. Now, there are people that can shoot raw video, but that's when you get into the more expensive cameras. For all of these cameras, you want to make sure that you set your picture control or style control, whether it's Nikon or Canon, you want to get that right. So what we're going to do right now is run through some different styles and picture controls to show you what they could look like, right or wrong. So let's do that right now. So what you just saw before this was our settings for outside. We already had our picture control set properly. Now what we did in this one is we maxed out the contrast and we maxed out the sharpening. Steven's telling me it's looking really, really punk rock and punchy. Now if this wasn't the effect you were going for and this is how you recorded your video, there's not much you can do about it after the fact. So let's see another one right now. So now we've gone the opposite way. We've lowered our contrast all the way down to 0. We've lowered our sharpening all the way down, and this is what it looks like. There is a huge difference. So this is so important that you lock this in for what you want to do when you're shooting outside. Or not even outside, just in general, getting these settings right before you shoot your video. So let's see what else we have. So now we went ahead and put the other things back to normal, and we bumped the saturation. It's all the way up, Steven? Yep, we bumped it all the way up, and he's telling me I look like I have a fake tan or I'm from the Jersey Shore or something like that. If this is the effect you're going for, then maybe that will work for you. Just remember, it's easier to do these corrections in camera than in post because it's baked right into that file. Let's do another one. All right, so now we shifted the tint. Steven, when doing our videos, plays with the tint a lot because it's either too green or too magenta, and you just have to play with it. It's like if you were in Lightroom and just sliding that same slider. So what do? We went all the way green to try to make me look like the Incredible Hulk. Hulk is hungry or something, I don't know. But again, this is just giving you another example. Now we want to show you one more. Now we've gone ahead and gone into monochrome. If you're looking to get that Pleasantville look, well, black and white, we're not doing additive color here. And Steven locked this into where he thinks that it's right, with the right contrast and the right sharpening, and now we're monochrome. Now I'm not sure whether this is better to do in post-production or in the camera. Just remember that if you do monochrome in camera, you're not getting back that color information later. So maybe this is an option where you shoot it all in color and you make that change later on. But let's get to the next thing and wrap up this video. All right, guys, so you're looking at another interesting setting that Steven has set inside the camera. We're gonna wrap it up here, but you saw the different options. Well, not even just different options, just what could look like when it's too contrasty, when there's too much saturation, too much sharpening. I just want you to be aware that you have to set your picture control in camera when you're focusing on shooting video. You want to do it in the camera and not post-production. So just keep that in mind. This was fun to show you those different examples, and that's really it. Jared Polin, Photo.com. See ya.